Here is, from my perspective, and again this is a hypothesis, and we've done a lot of testing on our various hypotheses over the last 9 months, is that there's a vacuum in the social gaming space, right? The two great pillars of success in social games are things like Farmville or Frontierville, and then on the other end, MMOs, and you can see the great dichotomy that exists between the two. On the one hand, most social games today have ultra-light game mechanics that consist mostly of clicking on things. On the other hand, MMOs are laden with too many verbs for the average user, too much time commitment for the average user. On the one hand, social games are marked by so much shallow social interaction. We call it, I guess, social obligation in many regards. And on the other hand, MMOs have really deep social interaction, so much so that it's not uncommon for you to hear stories about how people meet their future spouses or meet their future co-workers in games like World of Warcraft. And then obviously from a production perspective, there's also a somewhat large difference between the budget and scope of these various games. And from my point of view, Farmville and World of Warcraft are bookends to future social games that are more immersive, more social, and more accessible. I think we're all probably familiar with the article, or the blog article that Roger Ebert recently wrote about the games industry, sort of lamenting the fact that games will never ever be art and could never be considered art. I want to sort of raise the challenge to the entire social games industry that it's not just games like BioShock or Mass Effect and such that may or may not be considered art, but really it's also social games that could be considered art one day. And I think that when we have, one of my overriding philosophies in life is that whatever you spend your time doing every single day, that becomes the entirety of your life. Basically, your life is sort of the sum of every single moment you spend every day. And so if we build social games that people are basically just clicking on things to unlock things, to feel obligated to their coworker or to their aunt to help them get further in their game, all we're doing is adding to sort of a tapestry of life that, I'm not that particularly excited about. And so when we think about social game players and what they are really interested in, what's driving their motivation, for sure boredom is some of it, right? A lot of people play social games today because they really don't want to get to their next email, or they have 10 minutes between meetings and they want to kill some time. But if you look at really the underlying patterns, you're going to find some consistency in the fact that they're always also just looking for genuine interaction with other human beings in some way.